Hello all, welcome to Autobot YouTube channel. Today we are going to get familiar with what is data service and what is managed entities in UiPath Studio. So you may have seen a button called manage entities in Studio and it may be in a deactive state. Okay, so in this video we are going to see how you can activate manage entities or how you can activate data service for a particular tenant in Orchestrator and how you can use the entities activities for managing the data that you're creating in the Orchestrator. Okay, so all these points that we're going to cover today. So before going to all these things, let me show where you can find the manage entities. Okay, so in UiPath Studio at the top you can see a disabled button is there, that is manage entities. Okay, so currently this particular one is not enabled because the data service is not enabled for my tenant, that is a default tenant. Okay, so if I enable that, then only I can use the manage activities in the studio. Okay, so before going to data service activation, let us see what is a data service. Okay, so UiPath data service is a persistent data storage service that brings powerful no-code data modeling and storage capabilities to your robotic process automation projects. Suppose if you're considering a classroom, okay, and if you have some 50 students studying in that particular class, and there was some exam happened, okay, and if you want to keep all the data of some 50 students for some 10 subject, means what you can do, either you can create a database and you can store it over there, or you can create a file and you can keep all the data inside that, right? This is just for an example. Okay, so instead of doing all these things, what you can do is you can create all this data inside the UiPath orchestrator. So how you can do that? For that you need to create, or you need to enable the data service in the orchestrator, and you need to create an entity. Okay, so in entity you can create different columns and you can store the data that you want. Like if you want to store the data of 50 students for different subjects, means you can create a data model over there and you can keep all the data inside that, right? And if you want to process the data by connecting to orchestrator, what you can do, you can use the entity activities in the studio and you can use those activities to connect to the data service and for getting this particular data. UiPath Data Service provides a business yet user-friendly service where you can securely store and manage your business data within UiPath. Okay, so it is highly secure and it will help to manage your business data within the UiPath itself. Okay, so instead of going for any database or for any file or cloud storage mechanism, you can directly store it in the UiPath itself. Okay, so run Attended process to aggregate data from multiple systems before processing it in other systems. Uses the data for long running business process that need to transfer data across multiple attended and unattended process. And the integration with Studio UiPath Robot allow you to build automations leveraging capabilities such as rich relational data types, integrated security, instantaneous and adjustable provisioning and deployment. Okay, so all these are benefits of using the data service in your projects. Okay, so let us see how you can enable the data service for the particular tenant and how you can create the workflows by utilizing this particular functionality. Okay, so currently here you can see the manage entities is disabled in my system and I have connected to the orchestrator. Currently I'm in the orchestrator and I'm in the default tenant page, and here you can see the at the left hand side there is no data service active for the particular tenant, right? So let us see how we can activate the data service for the particular tenant. For that, what you have to do is you have to go to admin. Okay, so in the admin you have to go to tenant. So currently it's in tenant tab, and here for the particular tenant these are the services that is active, right? or it's in the enable state. So what you have to do is, for adding data service, you need to click on these three dots, then go to tenant settings. Then here you can see the data service is not enabled. That's why that particular service is not seeing in the left hand side, right? So I'm going to select this particular data service and click on save. Okay, so now you can see uh, the particular data service is available in the tenant page, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on data service. Okay, so if you go to data service page, here you can see a default entities over there. Okay, so if you create an entity, it will come like this. Okay, so it will be having a display name, and the name, the description, and the number of fields, and the number of records, and the last modified date you can see over here. So there is no limitation for the number of fields. So you can create as per your need, and the number of records also you can add as per your wish. Okay, so here I'm going to create a new entity. Just click on create a new entity. Just give a name. Okay, so I'm giving it like a sample entity. Okay, description for UiPath entity demo. Okay, I'm just clicking on save. Okay, so here you can see a new entity got created, and by default here you can see 5 fields got created, right? 5 fields got created automatically. So those are the 5 default fields that is creating automatically if you create a new entity. Okay, so that is a system generated fields. So what is the first one? That is ID. So this is a unique field, and the next one is created by, and create time, and what time it got created, and updated by, and update time. So all these details will get auto populate. Okay, so we don't need to add any data to it. It will automatically generate. Okay, and what is the next step? Like okay, and I'm going, so these are the fields. Okay, so these are the column names, and I'm going to data. So currently there is no data added to this particular entity. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on create new field. Okay, so field is nothing but the column name. Okay, so I just named it like a student name. Okay, and here you can see we can choose any type of data type. Like if you want to store it like a boolean, you can use yes or no. If you want to save it like a number, you can save it like a number, or it's totally depend on your requirement. Like file you can choose, or relation data type, or choice set you can choose. Like it's totally depend on your requirement. You can choose the type. Okay, so currently I'm going to keep it like a test, and if this particular field is a required one or mandatory field, just mark it as required. I'm going to save it. Like that required button or checkbox, where it will be helpful is like if you have created a multiple fields, and later if you are thinking like, okay, this particular field is not required, instead of deleting that, you can just uncheck that required checkbox. Okay, so currently you can see one more field got created, that is a student name. Okay, just go to data. Okay, so now the current add new data got enabled. Okay, so for the student name there is no data currently, right? So I'm going to name it like autobot, just to save it. Okay, so same like that you can add as many data. Okay, so there's no limitation for that. Using the activities you can add, or you can use an unattended bot for creating the data in the first run, and then you can use another robot for processing those data. All those things can be done using this entity. Okay, so currently I have added only one data. Okay, so let me add one more to this. Okay, so I'm going to just name it like a, okay, just name it like a UiPath. Okay, click on save. So currently two data got generated, and you can see this particular ID is a unique field, right? And student name, and created by who has created, it is created by Autoboard, and the created time, this is the particular time, and updated by Autoboard, and this updated time also, right? So that part is done. So what we have done, we enabled the data service for the particular tenant. Then we created a new entity, and we added one more field called name, student name, and we added two data to the particular entity, right? So this part is done. So next what we have to do is we need to check in UiPath Studio whether the manage entity is enabled now, right? So currently the manage entities is enabled in my UiPath Studio. So there can be situations like even if we enable the data service in the orchestrator, still the manage entities is in a disabled state, right? So what you have to do is you need to go down. Okay, here you need to click and you need to refresh the connection. Okay, so if you click on refresh, it will get the latest updates from the orchestrator. Okay, so it may be updated in the orchestrator, but that particular feed got is not passed to the studio. That's why the managed entities was in a disabled state. But if you refresh the orchestrator connection, then you can see the managed entity will be in a enable state, right? So I'm just going to click on manage entity. Okay, so if you click on that, you can see the entities that I created in the orchestrator. Okay, so sample entities is the one that I created, and system user is the default one which was already there, right? And if you don't want to use one entity that is there in the orchestrator, you can just uncheck it. So I'm just going to choose both, and I'm going to click on save. Okay, so this will help to manage the entities that is available in the orchestrator. Okay, so if you don't want to use one entity that is created by you, you can just uncheck it. Then you can't use that entity in your UiPath Studio. So that is the purpose. Then what is the next thing? To utilize these entities that is available in the orchestrator, you have to use the entity activity. Okay, then only you can utilize this um, service in your or yeah, entity data service in your automation. Okay, so once you did that, it will ask to install a package, UiPath data service package you need to install. Okay, because currently in my system I think it's not installed, that's why it's showing like this. Okay, if it's already installed, you won't get this pop-up. It's not installed in my system, that's why you're getting like this. I'm getting like this. Okay, so I'm going to install that particular package. Okay, so if you don't get this particular pop-up, what you can do is just go to if you are not getting this pop-up, just go to manage package, go to all package, just search for data service. Okay, if you go search for data package, you can see the particular activity. Click on install, click on save. Okay, so it is now currently installing all the activities, all the dependencies related to the particular package. Okay, so the data service package installation is completed. So I'm just searching for data service. Okay, so here you can see the package, data service package, and you can see the different activities that got installed, right? So now what we're going to do is I will show you how to utilize these activities. Like we are going to cover few of the activities which can help you to get a basic understanding of the usage of these activities in your workflows. Okay, so let's creating some flow using the entity activities. Okay, so uh, so this sample entity is the entity that we have created, and currently we have two data, and we added a UiPath and AutoBoard to the entity, right? Suppose if you want to add more data to this particular entity, like more student name to the particular entity, what we can do? We can use the particular activity called a create entity record, right? So I'm going to show you that. So how we can do that? So once you drag and drop this particular activity, it will ask you to select the entity type, right? So you have to select the entity that you want to use here. Okay, so some cases it will automatically select the particular entity, but here I have selected both entities, right? That's why it is not auto selecting the particular one. So what you can do is I'm just going to browse and just search for my entity. Okay, sample entity is the one. Okay, so I have selected the entity that I have created. Okay, so what is the next part? I need to create an input record. Okay, so before inputting the record, what is the requirement? Like I need to create an object for this particular sample. Okay, so I need to create an object to the particular sample, and I need to use the particular field name to insert the data. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign activity. Okay, so here um, okay, new sample entity. Okay, here I'm going to create an object for the same. Okay, so what should be the name? I'm going to just name it like a obj. Okay, so I just name it like cannot be sample entity cannot be changed to string. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to sample entity type. Okay, so the error got gone. So if you create a new variable, if it is not automatically selecting the data type to your entity, just change the variable type to your entity. Okay, so that part is done. Again, we have to assign the data to that particular field, right? So what I'm going to do is obj dot. Okay, so if you click on obj dot, it will show you all the fields that you have created in the entity. Okay, so I'm going to add for student name. Suppose if I want to add a student name like uh, okay, I'm going to add like a automation anywhere. Okay, so these are just some sample names. So in your automations, you have to give some namings as per your need. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, if you have to add the data of your class, means you have to give the name of the students. Then for adding the marks, you have to give the proper marks. Okay, so bj dot student name. Then what should be the input record? Okay, so that should be obj, right? So obj should be the input record, and I'm going to use obj as the output also. Okay, so it will get input the record, and it will get the data to the obj output record. You can create a different output record also, that is your wish, but here I'm going to use the same thing. Okay, so just execute the same and see what is going to happen. Okay, so currently we have only one data that is available. So after the execution, we need to see whether the data got generated or not. Okay, the execution ended, so it should have added the data. So let's refresh the data. Okay, here you can see automation anywhere got added to the sample entity. So that is the purpose of this create entity activity. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this data, delete this flow. So hope you are clear with this particular activity, that is create entity record. Okay, suppose if you want to delete something from the use delete entity record. I'm just drag and drop this particular activity. You have to choose the particular entity, sample entity. Okay, so here you have to give the record id. So what is this record id? So record id is nothing but this is the record id. Okay, suppose if we want to delete this automation viewer, I need to give this id as the reference. Okay, so this is the unique reference id for this particular data entity. So I need to pass this value for the deletion, right? So here it is asking to create a variable, right? So I'm going to create a variable called okay, I'm just naming it like record id. Okay, so once I created, okay, so once I create, that is GUID, right? So GUID is the variable type that got generated. Okay, so I'm going to just, okay, so this is for the sample demo. I'm going to use this activity. So I'm just trying to pass the particular ID value. Okay, we'll see whether it will work or not. Okay, so I just passed that particular id value, but it is throwing the error like string cannot be converted to system dot GUID, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pass this value GUID dot par pass. Okay, just give the value inside that. Okay, so that is done. So if you want to delete more number of data, you can create a loop and get this value and you can delete it. Okay, so that way you can do that. But here I'm just going to show you how you can use this activity for the deletion of a record. So we selected the sample, then we created a variable, and here inside the variable we are going to pass the id is automation. Okay, so I'm just going to execute this particular flow. So the execution is completed. Let's go to our data entity, just refresh it. Okay, so now you can see the particular data got deleted. That is for automation work, right? So that's how you need to use this particular delete entity record activity. Let's see how to use the get entity record by id. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this particular flow that we created for delete entity record. So just drag and drop get entity record by id. Okay, so this one we can utilize for getting the particular data using the id. Okay, same like that, if you want to get a data based on the record id, you can utilize this particular activity. Okay, so here I'm going to use the same variable, that is a GUID type record id variable that we have created for the delete entity record. Okay, and here I'm going to create a new one. Okay, I'm going to name it like out record. Okay, for out record the element type is I entity. Okay, the element type is very. So what I'm going to do is we need to replace this value, right? So I'm going to give this as the id. I'm going to just change this value. Make sure you have imported entities into your project. Okay, yeah, because we haven't selected the entity, right? Okay, So now that error should gone. Still we have the error. Why we have the error? UiPath data survey entity to UiPath data sample entity. Okay, so the out service should be entity data sample entity. Okay, so we created okay, so now the error has gone, and we created the out record for the particular variable type as the sample entity, and we have the record ID, that is input, as a GUID. Okay, so let me use message box for printing the data. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add a message box. So here we have only we have one record inside out record, as we are going to use only one particular ID to get the data, right? So how we can get the data? I'm going to use out record dot, what should be the data that I need to retrieve? I need to get a student name, right? For this particular ID, I need to get the student name. Okay, so just try to execute this. So you should print the UiPath in the message box. Okay. So now you can see it has printed UiPath in the message box. It means it has retrieved the student name for the particular ID. So this is how you can utilize this particular activity in your flow. So let's go to our next activity. So I'm going to delete the things that we created now. Go to data service. Okay, so what is the next activity? We have to use a query entity record, right? So suppose if we want to get more number of data based on some condition other than the ID, record ID, you can use query entity record. Okay, so what should be the first thing? We need to choose the entity, that is a sample entity. Then here in the query you need to give the condition, like on what basis you need to extract the data from the entity, sample entity. Okay, so I'm going to click on this button. Here it will ask you to select the field, which field that you want to give the condition. Okay, so I need to give the condition for the student name. Okay, before that, what I'm going to do is, let me add one more field to this particular data entity. Okay, because currently we have only one field that we have created, right? So I'm going to create one more field to it. I'm going to just name it like subject required, save. Okay, it got created. There is no data for this UiPath. I'm going to just name it like automation. Okay, for the Autobot, I'm going to just name it like okay, so we created one more field and we added the data to it. So let's see how we can utilize that. So student name equal to what should be the condition. Okay, I'm going to just add it like a Autobot. Okay, so it has to get the entire data for this particular Autobot. For this particular row, it has to fetch all the data. Suppose if you want to add more data or more condition, you can use this, or if you want to add more group of conditions, you can use add group also. Okay, so I'm just going to click on OK. So that part is done. So what is the error here? Value for a required activity argument output record was not supplied. Okay, so output record we need to create, right? So I'm just going to create a new one. I'm going to create output record. Okay, so output record, Here you need to see output record is of type ilist sample entity. So before that, I'm just going to delete all the unused variables, okay, to make it more simple. Okay, delete all the variables. Okay, so here you need to see what is the variable type for this particular output record. Okay, so this is ilist. Okay, ilist of this particular entity that we have created. So this is a list, right? So in this particular output record, we'll get all the data that will meet this particular condition. Okay, so let's see how we can use this data. I'm going to use message box again. Drag and drop this activity. Output record of 0 dot okay, what I need to get student name, okay, updated by, okay, because here the problem is like we forgot to update our manage entity. Okay, that's why it is not showing the particular field that we have created recently. Okay, so it's not showing the field subject, right? It is not showing that particular field. Okay, the subject is not showing over there because we forgot to update the manage entity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh this connection again. Okay, going to manage entity. Here you can see a new change is there. New entity version will be imported and updated into your project. Okay, so we have selected that. Click on save. Okay, so it will update the new changes from orchestrator to it is adding the dependencies. So whenever if you're adding something to your entities in the orchestrator, to get that to studio, you need to refresh the connection. If you refresh the connection, you can get the latest update over there. Okay, so dot, we need to use subject, right? Subject dot to string. So let me execute this flow. It has to print a YouTube channel. Okay, so see, it has printed a YouTube channel. So this is a way for using the query entity activity. Okay, and if you want to extract all the data without any condition, what you can do is just remove this particular condition that you have created. Okay, so just remove this condition, and now you will get all the records inside a particular entity that you have created. So hope that point is clear. So let's go to the next one. We are going to see the usage of update entity record. So that is the last activity inside entity record. So let me drag and drop this particular one. Okay, I'm going to choose the entity sample entity. Okay, so here we need to create the input record, right? So I'm just hovering on top of this. What it is showing, the record to be updated for the cell entity type based on the ID field of the input record. must be of the same entity type. Okay, so they should be of the same type as our sample entity. Okay, so I'm just going to create a variable input record. Okay, so here what we need to consider is, okay, so it has created a variable with the sample entity. So this activity is working based on the ID that we are passing, right? And it has to update a record that we are getting using the ID. So how we can do that? For that we have to utilize this get record by ID. Okay, so we already seen how to use this particular activity in our flow. I'm just changing the name to sample entity. Okay, here we need to pass the ID. Okay, so suppose if this is my data, right, I need to change the subject of this particular UiPath to automation tool. Okay, instead of automation I need to update to automation tool. What I need to do, I need to use this ID. Okay, here okay, I'm going to create a new variable. Record ID. Okay, so record ID is of type GUID, right? So last time what we have done, we need to pass the value to this particular thing, right? So GUID dot pass this particular value. Okay, so why I created this variable is just to showcase you like what is the type of that particular data that we need to enter here. Okay, so it should be GUID. So in order to convert this particular string to GUID, we have used GUID dot parse and we pass that ID value. Okay, we are going to utilize this same input record. Okay, so the output of this get entity will be the output, so the input for this particular update entity record, right? So I'm going to use input record as a output variable for get entity by ID. Okay, so how we need to update the value, how we need to update the value for this particular ID or the particular row, how we need to update the value for this particular automation. So that is another question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the assign activity. Drag and drop the activity, then input record dot I need to change the subject name, right? So what should be the new name? I'm going to change it to automation tool. Okay, so currently what we have done, we use the get entity record by ID for getting that particular row of data. Okay, we use the ID for getting that entire row, and for that particular value, that is subject, we assigned a new value, that is automation tool. Okay, and we are inputting as the input to the update entity. Okay, and we can create the output record also. Out record. If you want to print the value in a message box, you can utilize this out record. Okay, so let me run this and I will showcase you in the orchestrator itself. Yeah. So now the name should change to automation tool. Okay, instead of automation it should change to automation tool. Okay, so the execution is completed. You sample entity, refresh it. See, now the name has changed to, or subject has changed to automation tool. So this is how you need to utilize the update entity activity in your workflow. Okay, so you have to use get entity record by ID for getting the ID, getting the row, and you need to give the updated value to that particular field. Then you need to use update entity record for updating that particular value to that entity. Okay, so this is how you need to utilize the particular activities. So hope this video is clear and useful for you. Just try out all these activities in your system, try with some sample data, and try to include these activities in your automation flows going forward. So thanks for watching.